Do you know that the biggest mistake investors make isn't choosing the wrong stock? It's choosing a stock without knowing what makes a great stock great in the first place. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. A stock can be rising every day and still be a terrible investment. A company can have a famous brand and still be destroying shareholder value. And a stock can have a low price-to-earnings ratio and still be ridiculously expensive. So how do you separate the stocks that are genuinely strong from the stocks that are simply having a good week? You don't start with the stock price. You start with the business behind the stock. In this video, I'm going to give you a practical framework for finding high-quality, potentially strong-performing stocks using growth, profitability, cash flow, debt competitive advantage, management, and valuation. And by the end, you'll have a checklist you can use before putting your money into almost any stock. First, understand what you're actually buying. When you buy a stock, you're not buying a number moving up and down on your phone. You're buying a piece of a business. That distinction changes everything. A stock represents ownership in a company, and investors can potentially make money through capital appreciation and dividends. So before asking, will this stock go up? Ask, is this business becoming more valuable? Because over the long term, the stock price cannot completely ignore the economics of the business. A great company can still be a bad investment if you pay an absurd price for it. And a struggling company can sometimes look cheap while becoming even worse. So your job isn't to find a stock that's moving the fastest. Your job is to identify a business with strong economics, sustainable growth, and a reasonable price. Let's break that down. Number 1, look for consistent revenue and earnings growth. The first thing I look for is growth, but not just one spectacular year. I want to know, has this company been growing consistently? Look at revenue over several years. Is it generally moving upward? Then look at earnings per share. EPS is essentially the company's net profit divided by its common shares outstanding. If revenue is increasing but earnings aren't, that's a warning. Why? Because a company can sell more products and still become less profitable. Imagine Company A. Revenue, $100 million, $120 million, $145 million. Sound impressive, but suppose its profits go $20 million, $18 million, $15 million. Revenue is growing, but the economics are getting worse. Now compare that with a company where revenue and earnings are both steadily increasing. That's much more interesting. You want to see whether the company can translate sales growth into profit growth. And don't become obsessed with one quarter. One quarter can be affected by unusual events. Look for the trend. Because you're not trying to predict tomorrow's stock price. You're trying to identify a business whose earning power could potentially grow over many years. Number 2, look beyond profit. Follow the cash. Here's where many beginner investors get fooled. They see profit is up 30% and immediately get excited. But profit on an income statement isn't the same thing as cash sitting in the company's bank account. That's why you should examine the cash flow statement. A company's annual filing contains audited financial statements, including the income statement, balance sheet, and statement of cash flows. One number I want you to understand is free cash flow. Think of it simply as the cash a business has left after funding the capital expenditures required to operate and maintain the business. A company generating growing free cash flow has more financial flexibility. It can potentially pay dividends, repurchase shares, reduce debt, expand, acquire other businesses, or reinvest in growth. Now imagine 2 companies. Company A reports huge profits, but constantly consumes cash. Company B reports strong profits and consistently converts those profits into cash. Which business would you rather own? Exactly. Profits tell you what the accounting says. Cash flow helps you understand what the business is actually producing. And this is one reason I don't want you analyzing a stock using only one ratio. You need the whole picture. Number 3, check profitability. How well does the company use capital? Now we go one level deeper. A company can grow, but how efficiently is it growing? This is where profitability metrics become powerful. One metric investors often examine is return on equity, or ROE. It tells you how effectively a company generates profit relative to shareholders' equity. But don't blindly say, High ROE equals great company. That's too simplistic. A company can produce a very high ROE partly because it uses substantial debt and has relatively little equity. So you need context. Look at profitability alongside the balance sheet. Ask, is a company generating strong returns without taking excessive financial risk? You can also examine operating margins and profit margins. If a company is growing revenue while maintaining or expanding margins, that's interesting. Why? Because it suggests the company isn't simply buying growth at any cost. The ideal situation is something like revenue, earnings, margins stable or improving, free cash flow, and returns on capital remain healthy. That's a much stronger signal than simply seeing the stock price rise. Number 4, check the debt. Here's a question that can completely change your opinion of a company. How much does this company owe? Debt isn't automatically bad. Businesses can use debt intelligently, but excessive debt can become dangerous when conditions change. Imagine two companies earning the same profit. Company A has very little debt. Company B has enormous debt. Then interest rates rise, or sales fall, or the economy enters a recession. Company B has much less room to breathe. Look at the valuation. This is where many investors make a huge mistake. They find an amazing company, then pay any price for it. Great company does not automatically mean great investment. Suppose you discover a fantastic business. It's growing rapidly. Margins are excellent. Debt is low. Cash flow is strong. Management is excellent. But the stock is priced so aggressively that the market already assumes years of extraordinary growth. You could still lose money if reality doesn't meet those expectations. That's why valuation matters. Common valuation metrics include P/E, price to earnings, P/S, price to sales, P/B, price to book, price to cash flow, and dividend yield for income-oriented investors. The P/E ratio compares a stock's price with its earnings per share. But here's the key. Never use a valuation ratio in isolation. A P/E of 10 isn't automatically cheap. A P/E of 40 isn't automatically expensive. Compare the valuation with the company's growth, its profitability, its industry, its competitive position, its balance sheet, and what the market expects in the future. Valuation ratios are useful, but they have limitations and don't capture every factor that affect a company's long-term prospects. The 7-point stock test. Now let's turn everything into a simple system. Before buying a stock, score it from 1 to 5 on 7 categories. 1. Revenue and earnings growth. Are they consistently increasing? 2. Free cash flow. Is the business actually generating cash? 3. Profitability. Are returns and margins healthy? 4. Balance sheet. Is debt manageable? 5. Competitive advantage. Does the company have a moat? 6. Management. Are executives allocating capital intelligently? 7. Valuation. Is the price reasonable relative to the business and its prospects? Now you have a score out of 35. This isn't a magic formula. It's a discipline tool. And here's the important part. If a stock scores extremely high on growth, but terrible on debt, don't ignore the debt. If it's a fantastic company, but the valuation is ridiculous, don't ignore the valuation. The purpose of the checklist is to force you to see the whole business. The biggest mistake to avoid. And now here's the trap that destroys many investors. Confusing a great performing stock with a great company. A stock can rise 100% because expectations changed. It can fall 40% even though the business remains fundamentally strong. Price movement tells you what the market is doing. Fundamentals help you understand why the business may deserve its valuation. That's why you should never buy simply because this stock has gone up a lot. And don't buy because someone on TikTok, YouTube, WhatsApp, Telegram, or Twitter says, this is the next 10x stock. Do your own research. Regulators specifically warn investors not to rely solely on unsolicited messages, online posts, or promotional claims when making investment decisions. And remember, there is no guaranteed high return without risk. So, how do you identify the best performing stocks? Don't start by asking, which stock is going up? Start by asking, which businesses are getting stronger? Look for growing revenue, growing earnings, healthy margins, strong cash generation, manageable debt, competitive advantages, good capital allocation, and a valuation that doesn't require perfection. Then compare the company against its competitors and its own history. Because the goal isn't to predict which stock will explode next week. The goal is to find businesses whose intrinsic value can compound over time and avoid paying a price that already assumes everything will go perfectly. And if you remember only one thing from this video, remember this. Don't buy a stock because the price is rising. Understand the business first. Because when you know what you own, you stop behaving like a gambler and you start thinking like an investor. This video is for educational purposes, not personalized financial advice. Stocks can lose value, and past performance does not guarantee future results. Kindly subscribe if this video inspired you. Thank you.